Welcome to Short Rest. We just finished episode 64. Oh man, a relaxing episode of no conflict whatsoever. You guys even trade a blow. It's great.
I hate you so much.
Does that say emotional damage?
Yeah.
I didn't do any physical damage. Emotional.
We said emotional.
So a lot of things are happening. So the last you spoke to Queen Evergrey, she said that she was forced to move her hand a lot faster, and I think you're now seeing the results of
big ass hand. That's all I'm gonna say.
First of all, the death of King Caspian still looms over right now.
I was not gonna say that.
Yeah. I was like, are you gonna say that he's dead?
I technically did a lie when I said I haven't seen him in a while. I was just like, I haven't seen him in a while. And I ain't gonna see him
on that one.
2, we learned that all of the Richards of the Raven's Kiss have lost their voice.
All except for one. We fixed one.
We fixed one. 2, there was a hit set on the Barnwells.
Like that.
And 3, the Books and Brew crew have been arrested for murder of Merle Templeman.
Like that.
A lot of things happening. So I'll be very honest and transparent. When you guys left Evergrey, you left her a little pissed.
I would say rightfully so, but I don't know.
Because you killed Lily.
She didn't even like her.
No, but she liked that she was loyal. You killed her dog.
No, you like your dog. Even when they're little assholes.
It really
you're
depends
just
on
like,
the
I
owner.
like my dog.
You know what it's like? It's like you broke my Roomba.
Yeah, no, at best, Lily was like a hamster, okay?
Yeah.
Still things we like? What's something you dislike, but you would hate it was gone?
True, but I think you would be less sad about a hamster than a dog, maybe.
I apologize ahead to all the hamsters.
Yeah, I apologize for hamster people.
Yeah, for reals.
Maybe a goldfish.
But regardless, you killed something of hers. And she was like, I just wanted to have a little bit of revenge, and you guys left me. So, I guess I'll entertain myself some other ways. And so, she had to play some games, and now you're seeing the full effect of it. When I was writing things, I was like, while you guys are in the Feywild, shit's going down.
Clearly. I thought it was just
seriously though.
So I think a few things I want to talk to you guys about. First of all, what's going through Rolly's mind right now that, there's a hit put on your family?
Well, someone's going to die. That's all I know. Someone's gonna die. I don't know what it's gonna be, how many it's gonna be, but there will be hell to pay.
Yeah. I think it's interesting because I have to ask this question: how does Rolly consider Savannah and people of her own skill set dangerous enough? We're like, I know Rolly likes to joke around with Savannah, like, you're small and I could probably take you on, and let's fight and the whole thing. But now you're thinking, these people with the same skill set, are you worried?
I am. I know. Okay, I make fun of Savannah individually because it's Savannah. Let's be honest. But I've seen some of them. I mean, my personal experience with, like the one little side mission we did for them where we all botched it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that like was a direct experience with like just general. But I know for sure it's such a large organization that like that's just a very insignificant sample size. I've dealt with Leon. I've seen what he's capable of. So I know that like it's more important for me to see them more as Leon and less like the novices, because if this organization was being run by novices, it wouldn't be as big as it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that being said, like I don't have a lot against them, to be honest. It's not like I see them as a threat, but it's more what Rolly feels personally is almost like a bit betrayed, because Rolly's like, you know, through Savannah, he's done so much for an organization that he's not even a part of. He owes them nothing, right? He's just Savannah's friend. But we've gone through the adventure of the Richards. We've helped them do so much, and then next thing I know, hey, right, kill your family. No, the hell you're not.
Honors. What's the saying? Like, no honor amongst thieves, or there's honors amongst thieves. You know?
Yeah.
I think we established it 100 times that Savannah and her guild, your guild of Raven's Kiss, are not the good guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've kind of said that.
Yeah.
And this is just a very unfortunate hole in the system.
Yes. I think the only thing that they unite themselves against is probably the Evergraves. You know, that was the whole point of Richard, was that he's like, fuck these guys, we'll do what we want away from these, you know, crazy, you know, royal people like Catherine. So it's funny to think about that. What's Savannah like? Savannah has a lot going on, I feel right now. Is one, essentially all your mentors are muted.
Muted, yeah. And it's just like, what? And then how pretty much it's all kind of collapsing on itself because we have no voice. Okay. And then Rolly's pissed that his family got a hit put on. Okay. I have to make him understand it was an accident. Okay. Oh shit, our bar's falling apart because they got arrested. Okay. Internal panic. She's like completely panicking. It's like right now she's kind of slightly shut down because she's like, I don't know how to fix this. I just need to go move.
I was talking to we were discussing this, and the biggest question I have for most DMs, and there was like, how do you actually make your players worried at high levels? You guys are level 14 now. You guys leveled up from the last adventure. It's one of those things that's like, if I throw a dragon at you, you guys are going to work together to fight the dragon. It's not going to be like, oh, I'm worried, what's going to happen? Because you also have a cleric and you have a barbarian with 170 hit points. You know, it's like, these people can fight. And it came to a point where, like, how do you make them worried? Well, you hit them where people can't survive. You know, and you give them choices. And so it's become a point where it's, you guys got to act quick. By the way, I got to say this much. Using the telepathic bond to talk to Richard was clutch. Major clutch.
I mean, that's
all
how
I kept
she
thinking is, can they write? Can they write? And you said they can write, and then she said that. I'm like, that's genius.
Well, that's how she talked to Creed, because Creed didn't want to talk. So I was like, well, if somebody can't talk, maybe I could just be in their head.
Also, I want to throw this out. Savannah's slightly pissed off at Vera and Rolly right now, though, because you guys keep fucking brushing her off. Is because you kept saying, well, Rolly's family's attack. Rolly's family attack. Act like it was your family. I'm like, my family was just fucking attacked. They just lost their entire fucking voice. And yes, I understand it's not the same, but I'm like, that still hurts.
Yeah.
No, she did tell you. She just told you that they're gonna do anything to break us apart and be your pressure points. So she does understand, but she was like, I can't talk sense into you and him because I know what that anger feels like. So it's just like,
It's a lot.
Vera knows.
There's a lot of things happening.
Because she did.
Like, every time you guys kept going through it, every time I'm like, I'm feeling dismissed. Everyone's dismissing me right now, like, because I have to deal with Rolly. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't know how to fix this. At least we got one Richard going.
Yeah, you know, like the fact that we got one Richard fixed led Rolly to believe that maybe.
But I don't think you understand that if we don't get like a unanimous voice together, the entire guild dies. That all goes away.
Well, I did ask if we
that.
could do another one, but I meant like one that actually had like a higher rank.
No, I mean pretty much everybody who's in the know is pretty much can talk at this point. So.
Yeah, but you know, in the same regard, I have to. Rolly has to take care of his family because that is all he has.
Mm-hmm.
So at that point, anything else will wait. And the fact that Rolly was actually able to give, obviously, of course, thanks to Sirius who came in to help. But like, I don't. If that would not have happened, I definitely could have seen Rolly just going to purchase a horse and making route. That was actually something on the table.
Yeah, there was some moments where I was like, there is a per individual or group of assassins coming after the Barnwells, and there is one agent, one street off, or like one town off, who's going to take a day to get there. Richard right now is flying as fast as he fucking can. And I was like, that's enough. That's cover, but who knows? And then Vera with the option of like protect Rolly, and he was like, of course, from Cyrus. So, and we already know that he can teleport. So he's got like a number of teleports a month. So he's using them.
No, I mean, like, Vera said that because she's done the stupid decision. That is in her backstory. She just doesn't talk about it, where she got angry and blamed her god and was like, you didn't fucking do enough. Fuck you. And then, like, it bit her in the ass hella hard because she had to learn that she was now alone. She could not fix her problem without help and had to learn the fucking hard way. So she knows that, like, anger clouds people's judgment. They do decisions because they are angry and upset and feel like this is what's going to fix it. And it either makes it 100% worse or it doesn't fix it at all. So like that's what she was like, I know it's like you don't want to hear I know, but yes, I understand. I done fucked up before.
Well, and that's the crazy thing, because you've done it, right? But you also have the wisdom, and that experience to count for this current situation, which is why you're saying what you're saying. Think about Rolly, who's very passionate, very like almost, like his namesake, a fire. Very hot-headed, and this has never happened before. So he's in a position where he's going to do whatever is necessary to protect his family.
I think you're playing Rolly very accurately to who he is as a character.
Yeah,
Rolly definitely is a hothead, and he would react this way. And I think it's very accurate the way you're doing it, because it's like, I want to go now. I want to go now and protect my family. I want to go, and everyone's like, wait.
Yeah.
If you go alone, that's gonna be bad.
That's why when I went to go talk to him, I led with the math, and I'm like, if I give him numbers and rationale, he might hear me. I'm like, I want to scream at you, but listen.
I'll be honest. Numbers in that mind state don't mean anything.
Yeah.
But I told you a week versus instantly.
In Rolly's mindset, this conversation we're having right now is adding to that week of travel. It's taking away from time I could be spending getting closer and closer. I think the saving grace, honestly, was the fact that you said, oh, Vera's dad is on his way there, or
That's
he's
what I
already
mean.
there.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, that changes things. Now I don't necessarily feel that he's alone, right? They're not alone now. Okay, now I can be not as angry.
I think a big thing too was that I was talking to Amber during the break, and I was like, you guys have made friends. You guys have made plenty of friends where, you save them, help them, solved problems for them, where now they can do things for you. Like Cyrus definitely is a family member to Vera, and the way I would describe it was like he knows that Rolling Savannah had protected his daughter in numerous occasions. And so, yeah, you guys are like family to him, to the Kavads. So they're like, if one of you guys are in trouble, we'll protect. They've done it before.
Yeah.
So I think it was very helpful to have that. And I also like the fact that for like Savannah's family, I always built in the thing that there was an option way back in the day, and I have it in my notes, that if you ever decided to take the party to your village for Savannah Temple, and it was during the point where you knew that Arrowfield was a problem. It was during that arc where you could have gone to Arrowfield. There was the option of going through the tunnel. But again, that would have had its own, trials and tribulations. So I was like, okay, well, that's still there. They would probably go to the next town over. And so they definitely are being protected by Joy and a bunch of other people you've, again, more friends.
Yeah.
See, I wasn't super worried about the tribe, because all I kept thinking is like, well, I told the tribe to get lost. Like, I will connect when I need to, but they know not to put themselves out there, so...
Yeah.
Yay for tunnel.
Yeah, yay for tunnel. And then, Vera's sister is visiting her more often now. it's like a help group. They both went through that.
Yeah.
They found support system. Cute.
Yeah, their own support system. Absolutely. So those are a couple of things that are on the table. Obviously, you're still informing Uthiel about the whole situation that's happening with you guys. He's still busy investigating.
Yeah, I don't think
now.
he's gonna not.
He's not
be
necessarily.
busy.
Yeah, he's not necessarily an investigator either. He's just a calm-headed person who knows where to to calm people down and use their best abilities.
You have me thinking now, but I'm like, I don't know if I can do that. Because I was like, well, I just resurrected a general. Why can't I resurrect a king? But I don't know how to do that.
I think that's gonna raise a couple eyebrows.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
No, and yes and no. Just because they already know us, they already know Uthiel. It's like I'm not harming them in any way, shape, or form. It's just, would you let me?
I think it's also safe to say that they probably do have some clerics there that can do that, and if they would have done it, they would have already done it.
Yeah, that's why I was like, I'm pretty sure he got smoked by a lich, but you know.
I think the final thing, obviously, is what we ended on was what I'm calling the trial of the Books and Brew. Yeah, the whole Books and Brew crew have been arrested, and a lot of things are pointing towards them.
I know when you guys got mad at me for going down there, the only thing I kept thinking about was like, fucking poor Luna's like probably rocking in a cell. Like, I don't give a shit if they arrest me. Like, you could take me down there.
One thing for Savannah, for Temple, what you have now is that black orb.
Uh-huh.
If you were to throw it on the ground, it's going to cast 2 sendings and 1 invisibility.
That's what I figured as much, so I'm like, that's gonna be fun.
And that means you get to do the sending spell.
Twice.
Twice. It's all going to be in an instant. It's not like you get to choose. It's going to crack, boom, 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 all 3.
Oh, that's gonna be fun to use later. I'm gonna write that down. If we need to suddenly get out of there with reinforcements, oh, that's gonna be so useful.
So yeah, I guess that was a benefit of going downstairs.
Yeah.
yeah, I could see that.
And then you did also console Luna, as well as the rest of the parties. She definitely was happy to see some friendly faces.
Yeah, when nobody said yeah, I was like, dude, that's so fucked up.
I was thinking, like, Savannah's probably been, like, dealt with police-type custody before. She's like, she does not trust him. She's only going to give him as much as she wants. So she's like, oh yeah, I could come in and see my friends, the ones that came in with? Sure. Fine.
Yeah,
I went out.
They definitely were trying to play you, and I knew you were playing Savannah very smartly. You were like, see my friends? Yes. The ones that were in the other room? Yes. And I was like, oh, you smart person.
No, Vera just like felt bad because they're basically down there. Like, she feels like they're down there because of them, or like her, like the shit they're dealing with. And because they're proxy to it, they're paying the price.
The guilt hits Savannah when Luna says, is like, why does this keep happening? Because she already feels guilty for the shit that's going on with Rolly. And now that hit her twice as hard. She's like, god damn it.
Yeah.
But let's talk about my favorite moment in today's episode.
The interrogation?
Hostile witness.
Yeah.
I answer your question with a question.
The moment you started doing that, I was like, oh, I know what you're doing. Why don't you cool down for another hour?
That was so good. I had so much fun with that. And it was like a legitimate question. Like, what do you mean no? I mean, are you talking about knowing her personally? Knowing her intimately? Like, you gotta be more specific, man. So hilarious.
I mean, it's become a challenge to put you guys through scenarios where, you know, it's not always like, is this a good guy? Let me be friends. Is this a bad guy? Let me fight. You know.
Oh, I just think we thought they were just assholes. I don't think we thought good or bad.
I know, at this point we're thinking assholes, but at the same time, all bets are off kind of right now.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to put you in a situation where there was a lot more variety in terms of choices. Like, how do you act? And you guys are definitely playing your part to a point where you're like, okay, let's be safe, but let's be aggressive. Let's not just roll down and give in. So individually, let's talk about. So I had to choose one person per person. So definitely, I wanted Savannah to talk about Luna because you both share sort of this arcane knowledge. You're both essentially the quiet ones in the group.
That's why I was like, she's a sweet girl. She reads tarot cards. And then he was doing off this rant about divination, and I'm just like, dude, she's just a sweet girl that does parlor tricks. What are you on about?
Yeah, he essentially was trying to incite you to say, yes, she has these magical abilities. And he's like, great. She'd be a great lookout, wouldn't she? Like if there was a fight happening. And kind of like leaning towards like more guilt.
Question, because now I feel like I don't know if I messed up or she actually does this. Is Luna our cook?
Yeah, we were all like, she's sure.
She takes turns.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they all have a job.
That's why I looked at you. I was like, is she? Like, I was like, this is Amber asking. This isn't Vera. Like, does she think?
Has she possibly cooked us a meal? Sure.
Yeah.
Has she possibly poured a drink? Sure.
The way
I don't know.
we have it built is that Moscow's definitely the bartender.
Yeah.
Ellie's
the
books,
business woman.
and then who does the cooking in the beginning? It was Luna.
I was just like, be like, damn, we may not actually have, I don't know, we don't actually remember because we're never there, so you know.
I'm like, sure, she's cooked.
Yeah.
I think.
And then shifting over to Rolly, the thing that I was trying to get him to say was like, yeah, she is a businesswoman savvy enough where if she saw a notice of like shutdown, she would do anything to keep her business going. But you definitely gave him a hard time. Enough for even me as the DM where I had to go, I'm going to step away from Rolly. Because god damn it. Which honestly worked out in your favor because you didn't really play into his narrative.
I wasn't trying to. I was trying to be as hostile as possible, but then I also don't want to keep us engaged here forever. Because I could totally have kept that going, but I was like, no. All right, you got to keep the story going.
Yeah.
I was curious if you're gonna let the food break you.
He was gonna start. If you would have kept on being ugly, he would have kept on being like, all right, fine, I'm gonna leave you for another hour.
French fries.
And then he's gonna come in with like a chicken leg or something. And he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just enjoying myself. And he'd come in with like a thing of beer and be like, oh, let's go and put that away. Did you want some? Sorry, I already had it all.
I don't think the food would not have bothered me as much at first.
Yeah.
I think eventually over time it would have definitely taken a toll.
But I think it was smart to move it on because then it would be like, all right, this could have got a lot worse the further we go along. And the last thing is Moscow for Vera, because you guys were so connected, being father-in-law. And it was like, more or less like, do you think he could have created this elixir?
Yeah.
Like, how skilled of an alchemist is he?
When he was like, you think he's ever had conflict? I'm like, bitch, who hasn't had conflict? Like, what kind of question is that?
There was one answer you gave, I was just like, oh shit.
Oh, because I said, oh, you could have conflict for deciding what the hell you want for breakfast in the morning. And I was just like, people have conflict over the stupid ass things and the most serious things. So I'm just like, that's a dumb question to ask because it's like, I'm pretty sure anybody has at some point in time in their life.
I think the general was more or less like, do you understand what I'm talking about? And everyone was like, no, it could be anything. And I was like, fuck you. You know what I'm talking about. Conflict,
But I mean,
fighting.
he didn't do like alchemist work really anymore. And then like you were like, well, what about your jug? And I'm like, anymore. I didn't say when he did that. Like, it's just...
Like, honestly, for the three of us, that makes sense of us because we don't know them in a negative connotation. So you're coming at this like, yeah, arcane for bad work, and I'm all like, dude, she's barely not a child. Like, what are you talking about?
Well, yeah, there's a few things obviously in mind now. Is that we have the eyewitness, which was a leathersmith who saw the whole thing.
We didn't get any other information about that, did we? Just male leathersmith.
A male leathersmith who witnessed everything.
Doesn't mean it can't be the brother. I'd have to look at, because I wrote down the main prizes, because yeah, we did give people like coupons and stuff, but there was only one person that we actually gave, like, they got all the things, and it was...
Yep. Oh, go ahead.
But I'd have to look in there.
But the thing that's throwing me off is he's apparently using our silverware to cut throats. That's not something we've given out. That means somebody has access or was able to steal something.
Yeah. Well, I don't think it said books and brew. I think they just said, a kitchen knife. And I'm like, well, that could come out of
And
anywhere.
then they said something specifically that tied it specifically to us. I just don't remember exactly what.
Yeah. Oh, essentially, they said a kitchen knife from a set, and they more than likely looked at the set that you guys had. So, in the morning, essentially, when you guys wake up, you can still investigate your own bar to find more information. But yeah, they essentially made notice that like, oh, there's a missing set.
I was like, my question is like, is it like real life where half the damn restaurants got the same shit?
You don't know.
Just saying. Like, do we all have the same fucking set? Like, what is it?
So you guys are gonna play investigators for a bit. You know, we're gonna have you interrogate, do some investigation, make use of some spells to get creative.
I looked at the ring. It's not Zone of Truth. It says I get advantage on wisdom checks to insight, like basically check if somebody's
I
telling
see.
the truth.
Okay. Well, you still have access to that spell, though.
Yeah.
I said, didn't we use Zone of Truth when we did the last interrogation, though?
Yeah, and then the girl tried to kill herself, and we ended up just bashing her head in.
Go on.
That was it. I'm like, well, it might happen again.
I was gonna say, the more times you were mentioning the Blakes, the more times that the Queen was like, "Okay, I get it, I understand, but that's not what we have at the moment." Or like, even if it is, it doesn't still look good for your friends. And you're like, "But it's a Blake," and she's like, "Enough with the Blakes. Prove it was them then."
I really wanted
Yeah,
to.
wait.
Really wanted to just message fucking Olivia in her head and be like,
Let's not do that,
come get me
please.
and see what happens.
Oh,
It's like
boy.
Vera was
Press,
pissed.
come at me, bro. I'm going to hurt her.
You could try.
Oh yeah, you did figure out that Olivia's the one who did the Richards.
We're almost certain it's Olivia who did Richard.
Yeah,
so-
Well, that's why I asked
so.
if like it matched the description we seen, like what he was explaining, what she looked like.
And I mean, it makes sense with that type of magical power.
Yeah.
I'm still sad about my Richards.
Well, what I meant, I think you got like confused because I was like, no, I can do it to another one that holds a post. Like the ones that are do errands or whatever. I'm like, I'm
Well,
going to do it to them.
honestly, at this point, the only one we haven't really accounted for, which I still need to account for, was Glixen Beach. But if we could just close shop like we did ours, so be it.
Yeah.
It's better than the alternative I have in my head, and I'm gonna keep the alternative I have in my head just so.
Yeah.
So you guys are going to interrogate the witness to find out more what he knows.
If it's a real witness, for all we know, this was a complete setup by freaking Ruby herself possessed. That's my theory right now. I'm going with that.
You mean the general?
Yeah, General. I'm sorry.
I was like, Ruby's a different person.
sorry, name confusion. The one that's almost named after me. Irony. I'm almost certain, like, the General was possessed, somehow set up her own murder. Cause I don't know. It's just something's not adding up here.
Yeah. I'm like, either it was somebody else or somebody that like just knocked her the fuck out and like was in the room already and like went out as her.
Well, you can definitely investigate her room, which will help your assessment. And in the morning, you guys will be delivered the basically the evidence that was presented and found at the scene of the crime.
I think the only thing that is sus is that she got into the room, and I think that's what they're worried about. But I'm just like, if she has anything type of like a badge or anything that allows her in the fucking court or whatever, somebody could just took it off of her. Because
I mean,
Ruby's
she's General, so wouldn't they just let her in?
Yeah, well, no, because she kept saying that, like, oh, the room doesn't allow you to shapeshift. I'm like, well, if she just walked in there, like,
But I don't think she's shapeshift. I mean, if she opened a bottle, something tells me that keeps making me think that's tied to it, which is why I keep thinking possession.
yeah, or mind control.
Or mind control.
All I'm gonna say is, doesn't that sound familiar to Savannah?
Yes.
Mhm.
Very.
Well, you'll definitely be delivered the vial to investigate. And yeah, I mean, you could still like talk to Moscow and everyone else. So if
Yeah.
you need like an expert witness, you can do that. You know, there's everything's open to you guys, which is really awesome. But you have 3 days.
I feel like Vera just wants to be like to Sergeant Cass, be like, "I told you, bitch, get out of here."
Very, not very.
She's not, but she's thinking in her head like, "I told you, you asshole." Like,
When Vera's the fed up one, that's a scary time.
it's just like,
Well, I'm curious to ask you guys this: if you guys are able to complete this and smooth things out, what's the next step?
I mean, I don't even know. I think we'd have to touch base with like what happened to Rolly's
Everybody.
family, the Richards, and then if everything's at a semi-okay place, like we need to go fix that fucking king shit.
Yeah.
And
I
probably
think,
check in on Gina Lee because she's just like, hello.
Yeah, for sure we need to figure. Okay, so my priority would be like, let's get the immediate threats out of the way. Let's fix this stuff here in Alrak, and then once that's done, let's we need to fix the Thieves Guild. We need to ensure that there's safeguards in place to prevent something like this from happening again. After that, we need to go fix the king. After we fix the king, I need to go fix Gina Lee.
Jeez.
Gina Lee can't
yes.
teleport?
You never asked.
I was like, I feel like she could if she's a wizard.
She's a very powerful wizard.
But I think she would have to know, like, where we're at and be like, okay, here, because we move around so damn much.
Yeah, I've hinted to you guys before when we were hanging out IRL, and that is, I would love to run a battle royale with you guys, like level 15 characters, and you get to choose a partner. Because you guys have a slew of NPCs. It doesn't have to be like campaign 1. It could be campaign 0 characters. If you want to play, Gwendolyn, you can play Gwendolyn, and you can pull some NPCs, and I'll make some sheets. Because there's, Gina Lee is a powerful wizard. Edward is still a wizard's warlock. There's all these people that you can choose from. You can even choose Joy, the half barbarian, or no, it's the half orc cleric.
Can I choose the queen?
Sure. I know what the queen
with,
is.
with those very delicate horns.
Queen Evergrey?
I know what she
wrong
is.
Queen.
Oh, Queen Evergrey?
No.
Wrong queen.
Wrong queen.
Hey, you said free for all. I can choose anybody.
NPCs. Not
She's
big
an
bad.
NPC. I can't play her.
That's a good point. God damn it.
Yes!
Fine, if you do that, I'm choosing a dragon.
Okay. I have a lich.
A lich versus that'd be an interesting fight to see.
Hey, lich, the dragon's down. You want to bring it back? Hey, look, I have a lich and a dragon now.
Yeah. Alright, guys. Well, I think that's it for our short rest. Obviously, we're going to take some break time, but we'll be back after a one-shot. Thanks for joining us. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.